From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Good morning, everyone. It's almost here. It is almost time for AJ Lee and Blue Summit live in concert at the Cascade Theater this Saturday, November 1st. You need to get those tickets fast because they are going to sell out quickly. So make sure you go to cascadetheater.org to get your tickets. They are a bluegrass band with a lot of the kind of that California charm. They got that soul and that grit. So you don't want to miss that chance to get to watch. That is AJ Lee and Blue Summit live in concert. Once again, go to cascadetheater.org for your tickets. All right, let's go and take a look at what we've got going on out here at Lookout, Modoc County. This is about 3 days ago after the storm, and you can see Tim Moore sent this beautiful shot of those clouds just kind of hovering over the mountains there in Modoc County. If you want to share your photos, you can very easily do that from the free Weather NorCal app. Just scroll to the very bottom, and you can share your photos, and you just might see them right here on the weather update and on Coffee with Krueger. All right, let's get into those weather headlines. Breezy north winds in the valley. You may have noticed that yesterday. I think we're going to see it, although not as bad today, picking back up again here, kind of off and on breezy conditions. Warming trend should peak around Wednesday, but staying above normal for this week through the weekend, even into early next week. Now, it looks dry and mild through your Halloween and Halloween weekend, but it looks like next week, sometime around the middle of next week, give or take, we may start to see some showers enter the picture. So we'll talk about that in the deeper dive here in just a bit. But first, here's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Tuesday, October 28th. Now, there is a freeze warning starting off this morning in Trinity County. If you haven't done so already, by the time you're watching this, hopefully it's not too late. But those temperatures could drop down to around or just below freezing, and we could see some of that freeze. Not just frost, but things actually freezing. That's until 9 o'clock this morning. But temperatures should warm up quite nicely. It's going to be a cool start to the day anyway you look at it, for the valley, for the mountains, seeing that fog along the coast, even some of those inland valleys. Modoc County, you're in the low 30s, upper 40s for the valley, mid 30s out in Trinity County at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you can see the storm system off to our west. That's generally just kind of heading to the north. See that high pressure? That high pressure is really what's pushing that storm to our north, and that keeps us fairly dry. Now, as I mentioned, it may be a little breezy out there. You may notice it this morning and even in the midday hours, but they should subside going into tonight. Now, I do expect those winds to probably pick back up again, though, as we go into your Wednesday afternoon. Could see gusts a little over 20 miles per hour at that point. But for today, temperatures upper 70s, mid to upper 70s for your daytime highs, and 60s for many of the higher elevations. Although in Trinity County inland, you're in the 70s and somewhere in the low to mid 60s for the coast. Looking at that 7-day outlook for the valley, it peaks sometime around Wednesday, but temperatures generally staying in the mid to upper 70s really through the next 7 days. You'll notice no rain in the forecast, at least for the valley, but sometime around Tuesday or Wednesday, we may start to introduce that chance for showers. For the coast, I've got you mainly dry. There's a system that now looks like it's going to mainly clip, say, around Saturday or Sunday. But that would be places like Del Norte County that may see a shower Saturday or Sunday. Wouldn't be a big deal, wouldn't last for very long, so I wouldn't be too terribly concerned about it. Siskiyou, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains, also looking at dry conditions for the next 7 days. It's sometime around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week that we may be talking about a chance for some more showers. All right, let's go and take a look at your deeper dive forecast for your Tuesday, October 28th. And you can see the storm system I was talking about. It's right here, and it's going to be moving to the north. Now, this is the cold front I was talking about that may clip parts of the north coast as we go into Wednesday, Thursday. You can see it right here. It just kind of clips Northern California. Now, I think it's mainly just going to bring us in the form of some clouds, but sometime around Wednesday, we may see a brief shower for parts of, say, Del Norte County. But otherwise, it's fairly dry. I mean, fairly dry system in general. We're not even seeing much in the way of rain or even snow in the higher elevations out towards the Pacific Northwest. Once that moves out, we're going to be looking at continued dry conditions, high pressure holding on strong. Now, this storm system, it stays well to our north, not even a concern, but this is the one that we've got our eyes on as it continues to move closer to us. It's looking now like the timeline of this is sometime actually around Sunday. We were thinking Saturday yesterday, but now the forecast models are a little backing off a little bit on the overall timing of this, and now it's looking like around Saturday night into Sunday that we may see that system clip places like Crescent City, but otherwise I think everyone else should remain dry. Then once that system moves on out and we go into, say, around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, that's when we're talking about the potential for showers. But until then, mainly dry for all of Northern California for the next 7 days or so. There are those winds picking up a little bit this afternoon in the valley, maybe upwards of around 20 miles per hour, maybe a bit stronger for your Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, the winds actually start to die down. Shouldn't be that bad, but they may pick back up again as we go into your Friday afternoon. So off and on breezy conditions here for the valley, but again, nothing to be terribly concerned about. Now, the ridge of high pressure, it's going to hold on. We've got a couple of storm systems riding to the north of that ridge, and that's why those temperatures are going to kind of go up and down a little bit here. No major swings in those temperatures, but as long as that high pressure is in place, we remain dry. But as I mentioned, we may see some of this cooler air off to the west begin to move in by around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. But again, that's still a long ways out. But looking at the 10-day trend, again, there's that little mini roller coaster ride, keeping our temperatures above normal. This drop in the temperatures by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week could be that sign of maybe a chance for some showers as well. So again, something worth watching, but until then, it just remains mainly sunny and dry. There you can see your wave heights have certainly dropped here for today, but it looks like with that approaching system on Wednesday, clipping to the north, that may enhance those waves a bit. Taking a look at your marine forecast for your Tuesday, north winds at 5 knots, waves to the northwest at 7 feet at 12 seconds, no advisories. All right, so here's your North Coast neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We've got those temperatures in Trinity County. Low to mid 70s. Absolutely gorgeous fall day. We are going to see a few more clouds, but generally staying in the mid 70s, give or take, for the next 7 days. Your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast, 50s and 60s for your daytime highs, partly to mostly cloudy skies. If we see a chance for showers, it will be for, say, Smith River, Crescent City, Gas Key, probably sometime around Saturday or Sunday. At maybe even Wednesday into Thursday, but overall, fairly dry conditions for most of us. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the 60s for most of us. Ashland about 68 and 72 degrees out in Happy Camp. Dry conditions at least through Monday. 63 in Alturas, 60 degrees for Tule Lake, and 64 degrees in Aden. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. You can see about 70 out in Paradise, although Westwood, one of the cooler spots, at about 58, in Janesville, 59. Your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures in the mid 70s, give or take. 74 degrees for Corning, 74 in Orland. We've got dry conditions all the way through Monday of next week, and you'll see that on the 7-day forecast for Chico. For your Halloween, looks pretty good. Temperatures probably somewhere in the 60s for trick-or-treat time, and then you can see you need to set those clocks back 1 hour on Sunday. Yep, it's that time of the year. The time I think a lot of you love, right? All right, you probably noticed I'm being a little sarcastic there. There's about 79 degrees out towards the city of Shasta Lake, 78 for Redding, 79 for Palo Cedro and Cottonwood, about 77 degrees. There's a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. Happy Halloween on Friday. Should be some beautiful weather for it. Temperatures upper 70s for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, dropping back down to the mid 70s and staying dry at least through Monday. As mentioned, it's sometime around Tuesday or Wednesday of next week that the long-range forecast models are introducing that chance for showers. But until then, should remain dry. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon for your latest check of the forecast. Have a great morning.
When you see flashing lights, someone's life depends on us.
And while we're out helping crash victims, we need your help to keep us safe. Move over, slow down, it's the law, it protects everyone.
Our crews are out here every day, keeping the roads safe for you and your family.
We're often the last ones on scene, and we want to make it home safe too.
Protect those who protect you, slow down and move over.